A very good evening, folks. Just jumping on now. You'll see my big mush in a second. I hope everyone is doing all right, considering this international break has been dragging the life out of me. You're all certainly welcome in. Happy Monday to you. We're edging the day closer towards Celtic back in action at Dens Park on Sunday. A lot of us are not looking forward to the game. A lot of us are looking forward to the game. So we have a good bit to talk about tonight. I'm after doing a little sheet out of topics we're going to talk about. If this is your first time coming across the channel on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're on Facebook, these are all certainly welcome in. Folks, anyone on Facebook, get your comments in. Enjoy the stream. I'll be on for about 1 hour chatting to you. I've got the 2012-13 jersey in the back. Yes, I'm still doing it. Still doing up the house. Still one glotch of paint on it. So let's kick it off. Look at Scott Brown, right? There's been a lot of talk about Scott Brown today. Obviously, Scott Brown and Ayr United have departed and gone their opposite ways. Obviously, Broony hasn't been comprehensive with Ayr United this season. They're 8th in the table. They have no chance of getting promotion, and his name's been thrown about so many times with Celtic fans. Oh, we'd love to have Scott Brown as a manager one day at Celtic. I've made it clear already in my point about Scott Brown. A phenomenal captain, one of my favourite players of all time, but he is nowhere near the qualifications to be managing Celtic Football Club. If you can't even get a team out of the Championship in Scotland, what makes you merit the job of Celtic Football Club with the rebuild we have? Would I take him back as a coach? Now, that's a different topic. Yes, I would. I go back to Gordon Strachan's title running in 7 and 08 season, where we brought Neil Lennon in as a coach, and Neil Lennon was a massive part of helping us winning that title at Tannadice. You know, having that experience, having a player of his experience, even though he was retired and he came in a coaching capacity, just having that presence around the dressing room helps big time. And I think I wouldn't mind Scott Brown being a part of the coaching staff. I don't think there's another slot available, to be honest. You've got Fozzie, you've got Sean Maloney, you've got McManus. Could he come back in as a development coach? He might feel like that's a downgrade from what he's been doing with senior football. But I think Scott Brown's a good lad. But I will not be surprised, and this is the God honest truth. I've said this so many times. We're going to be linked with so many names, manager names over the next couple of weeks going into the summer. Who's going to be the next Celtic manager? I get this question thrown at me every single podcast. Who do I want? Do I want Askew? Do I want Martinez? Do I want Steve Clark? Do I want Robbie Keane? Do I want Craig Bellamy? To be honest, I'm getting to the stage where just get someone in. Just get fucking someone in with a bit of experience and that has a winning mentality. Not a Nancy, someone that actually has managed in Europe. Someone that's managed in Europe. Hello to Andrew. Hello to Paul. Hello to Wilson. Comment below. There's no point having 17 people and you're not interacting in the chat. I've seen someone saying, oh, maybe Steve Clark with Scott Brown as number 2, or it's going to be Martinez with Maloney as number 2, or it's going to be Robbie Keane maybe with Scott Brown as number 2. To be honest, who we're given is who we get. And what I mean by that is we can have as much opinions as we want about who we want as the next manager, but the board don't listen. And when I mean the board don't listen, for example, fan media yet again are in silence because the Celtic board, they don't want to communicate with the fan media. And we've seen the Anfield Rap doing an interview with Oxlade Chamberlain up in Lennoxtown over the last couple of days. But yeah, they're giving the courtesy to all these podcasts from different clubs. And the Anfield Rap is a good podcast. They're really good lads, really established lads. They're not given any sort of giving any sort of passes to fan media, and it's just a joke. It's coming to a stage where real Celtic fans, regardless if they put themselves in front of a camera or in that press conference room, want to ask the questions, they're not getting the chance because the board don't like the real questions being thrown at them. It's all a fucking stage of propaganda, an absolute load of shambles, to be honest with you. And that's I feel sorry for the likes of Axon. I feel sorry for the likes of Celtic Way. I feel sorry for the likes of Ryan. I feel sorry for all these podcasts that put their nitty gritty work in daily. And a lot of them don't want to go back to Celtic Park and do fan media because the way that the club treated them. And I don't blame them. I completely don't blame them. If I was offered tomorrow to do fan media for Celtic, do at Celtic press conferences, I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch it because if there's something on my lips I would love to ask and they restrict you, it's a bleeding joke. It's an absolute joke. But yeah, they invite Oxlade, they invite the Anfield wrap up if it's Lennoxtown or if it was Celtic Park to do a press conference, not press conference, do an interview, exclusive interview. It's just a joke. They really, really want to fuck over fans. And this silence is getting worse and worse in all capacities. In all capacities. Even with the new Barrafield, they should have changed the name of the Barrafield to maybe the Tommy Burns Academy. Something like that. They just don't care. They just don't have a vision. They don't have a vision to move forward. And fans are getting ticked off for it. And fans are really getting to the stage where our lifeline this season is hoping we can win a league. If we're out of this by Sunday, folks, what are we all going to say? Scottish Cup, and hoping that we can have a big miracle. We've lost 8 games this season. 8 games. 8 games in the season. And people still fucking hoping that we can pull a miracle off. I hope we do. I really do hope we do. But we're going to talk about Scott Brown. I just wanted to have that moan about the whole fan media and the Celtic board. Their Celtic board are an absolute joke. Bruce Wilson is calling for unity. But yet he won't let the Green Brigade back in. Yet he won't let fan media back in. Like, you want Celtic Football Club is a family club. It's all about unity. Hello to everyone that said hello. I'm not blocking you. I'm not annoying you. I can see the comments. Hello to Jim. Hello to Stephen. Hello to Andrew. Hello to Raymond. Hello to Frank. Hello to Wilson. Hello to Paul. Say hello. I will look at your comments and get the questions in. Throw the difficult questions at me. I will answer them. There's no point asking the same stuff. I'll come onto this podcast and hoping that I can talk something different and keep it good. But yeah, we're gonna see what. Can't understand why the board ain't throwing the checkbooks at Ange. Give him anything he wants and let him fix the mess. I don't think Ange will come back to us. Ange has made it clear on the Australian radio station today in Sydney that he's basically holding off for a Premier League job. That's what he's holding off for. Hello to Mark Carplaw as well. I see you there, Mark. Don't worry. He's holding off. He doesn't want to come back to Celtic. Ange doesn't go back. He didn't go back to the Socceroos. He didn't go back to Yokohama. He wants to move forward. And Celtic Football Club was a great chapter of his life. And that was when he got the most love and affection besides the Socceroos job. He was loved at Celtic Park. And if I was the club, I would throw the checkbook at him and try getting back in. But how long does he last? 1 or 2 years? So he can rebuild the team and then leave. We have not recovered from Ange Postecoglou leaving Celtic. Brendan Rodgers, some people say, I've seen on other podcasts and I've seen in comments, Brendan Rodgers ruined this team. In aspects, he maybe hasn't ruined the team because the way that we went into this summer, the way that he approached the Cartwright game, the way he approached the game at Tynecastle, the way he approached the derby, is it the board's fault or is it Brendan Rodgers' fault? I think there's a lot of blame on all parties, all fucking parties, the team as well, on top of that as well. I've made it clear in the channel, I'm getting to the stage where I'll accept who comes in because either way, any man who comes in the job is going to bend over to the board anyway. Are the board going to throw the treasure chest in this transfer window? Come on, are we going to bluff ourselves here and be honest, the Celtic board do not like spending money. They do not like reinvesting in the squad. If we Arnie, just say for just argument's sake, we sell Arnie Ingles for 20 million in the summer, right? 20 million is not going to be put back into that team. Let's be honest with ourselves. We're going to spend probably about 7 million on replacing him. I put up a picture on social media earlier on of Kyogo, Kuhn, and O'Reilly. Guys that we sold for what? Almost 50 odd million between the three of them. They'd be put back in instead. Don't get me wrong. Benjamin Egan has been an absolute steal of a boy. But come on. We haven't replaced Kuhn on the right-hand side. We haven't replaced O'Reilly. We haven't replaced Kyogo. As much as Kyogo was checked out, and some people say, mate, he dropped his tools, he was still fucking scoring goals. We don't have a goal scorer. How are you meant to win a league if you don't have a goal scorer? How are you meant to be a title challenger? How are you meant to defend a title if you can't? When Celtic fans are saying, oh, fuck it, let's get rid of all these strikers, let's not let them play again, let's play Negrin up front. It's getting bad. It is getting bad. And as I said, we'll go into Sunday, Dens Park, and we have not won a game in Dundee this season, up in Dundee. They came back from being 2-0 down to Dundee United, a team that beat us, by the way, and they drew 2-2. Now, we have a situation where we're going to talk about Araujo on the channel tonight. I have a good 2 things I'm going to talk about. I'm going to show you what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about Scott Brown again. I'm going to talk about Araujo, Osmond, Carter Vickers, Jota, Carl Starfelt, of all fucking names, Tyrese Cambell of Sheffield United. I've already talked about Oxlade-Chamberlain and fan media. I'm going to talk about Lisa Forrest as well. And I'm going to talk about Dundee this weekend. And we're going to talk about the Celtic manager's job, which everyone wants to know where we're at. So there's 40 people tuning in. I hope you enjoy it. With 2 investors, what's this comment, Jack Smith? With 2 investors of the club, does anyone have a voice? We don't. The Celtic fans don't. The Celtic fans have a voice. The Celtic fans are vocal in the stands when it comes to when we're losing. We're quick enough to sing Celtic fans against the board or sack the board. But when we're actually going into an early part of the game, they sing for 5 minutes and it goes bland. I'm sick of saying it on the channel. I don't want to sound like a fucking Troy Parrott 24/7, but come on. You need to be in it. If you're not in it, you're not going to win it. Simple. And that's from the players that need a lift. And some of the players ain't at the level. And that's the facts. We are judging. We've talked about Yang. I've talked about Yang so many times on the channel. Yang came on the other day for South Korea. Kwon was playing for South Korea the other day. And they got pumped by Ivory Coast 4-0. Now, Ivory Coast are playing Scotland tomorrow down at Everton Stadium. I've said this already. Yang has improved, but Yang isn't the answer for Celtic. Simple as it is. You know, he has improved, but the games ratio is not there. You know, so let's go up and let's have a look at the comments. Keith, you know, with this club, if Broony came in as assistant, the minute we'd get a new manager, he would be recruited. Look at, but the whole thing with Scott Brown is I would like to have him around the dressing room going into his title run-in. I think Scott Brown has a voice. I think Scott Brown could lift Callum McGregor. I think Maloney's trying to do it. I think O'Neill is trying to do it. I think Callum McGregor as himself is trying to lift himself. He just doesn't have the performances. He just doesn't have it in him. And this is why I say, if we were to lose if we were to lose Callum McGregor in the summer, would I be a bit upset? A little bit. But I think I'd get over him soon enough. It depends who could step in and do a job. But I think Callum, he is a legend. He is a Celtic legend. I know some people might wink and say, what? Modern day legend. Modern day hero. Because what he's done, like he was the captain that rebuilt that team. He was the captain that led us into battle. When he even had a broken fucking cheekbone, he still fucking got in there and done the job for us as a captain and won us titles. But one of Callum McGregor's best performances in a Celtic shirt in his whole career, like he scored some cracking goals. He's been a part of some massive games as a Celtic player. The game against Rangers, the game against Sefco, that 3-0 game when he came back from injury and he wore the shield and he's ripping into Barisic and stuff, like, he's just, what a player, but he's not the same guy. I just think the mileage is running out in the engine. I just don't think he has it in him. And I'd just like to see us if we could, push Callum McGregor more forward, push him forward, put Rio as a defensive midfielder. Rio can defend at times, but we need to push Rio defensively and Callum more productive attacking with Ingles when Ingles comes back. Look, folks, I'm being optimistic. I'm looking at Alistair Johnson, Ingles, Osmond to come back. Araujo, he's out for 7 to 8 weeks. He's picked up, obviously. There's rumours going around saying when he done that video of him swinging out that beam in the nightclub, is that why he picked up the injury? Like, at the end of the day, he's out for 7 to 8 weeks. I think people are overrating Araujo. I think he's a good player. I think he's been good. I think his presence has been unbelievable. But he's not Alistair Johnston. I've already said it on this channel. He's no Alistair Johnston. Good comment and an anti. That's it. Like, I've already said this already in the channel. Like, I just despise the board. I don't think the board are doing the day-to-day basics right. They're just literally digging themselves into a bigger hole. They're infuriating the fans, and that's not the way business should be ran. They're not treating fans like proper supporters. The ones that pay their wages, the ones that buy the season tickets, the ones that buy the merch, the ones that buy the fucking food, the ones that buy the Celtic TV subscriptions, the ones that buy the windfall. This is why the profits are down. This is why the profits are down, because people are pissed off. Do you blame people going off and buying jerseys on DHgate instead of buying it in the club? Now, 2 years ago, if you'd done that, you'd be called, you're a disgrace. Why you're not buying for the club? You should be putting the money in the club. Because when you put the money into the club, are you getting the value of your money back? No, you're not. You're not. I've spent 280 quid this season, at the start of the season, before all this shit hit the fan with the boards. I went into the Celtic shop the other day in Braehead Shopping Centre, had a look, wouldn't buy anything. I was like, fuck that. I'm not giving them another penny. Even though that tracksuit, that Celtic origin tracksuit's a belter, I won't give them another penny. You got to stick by your guns. It's hard. It is hard because you love your club and you want, you have that, when you buy something from Celtic Football Club or when you wear something Celtic, you feel great. You feel like you're fucking, you just feel good wearing anything related to Celtic. But I'm the stage where, fuck that, I'm not buying anything. I'd rather buy a second-hand top or vintage, some Celtic stuff than giving it to the board. That's the God honest truth. And I'm sure a lot of us are feeling like that now, right now, because the board are a shower. They are a shower. They're incomplacent. They're too busy playing fucking Flappy Bird on their phone. That's what they're too busy doing. And when we do lose the league, which is a good chance it will happen, and a lot of people will be. I know a lot of these are checked out anyway. I know a lot of these are just winging it, like me. Put in the comments, are you winging this? Do you believe that we can win this league? Or you're just hoping for a fucking miracle? Let me know in the comments. There's 50 years tuning in. A big shout out to Bernadette Curran Dixon. Shout out to Raymond. Raymond, I can't pronounce that name. Raymond Zizbolich. Gordon Clayton, Frankie Sunderland, and Thomas Gray. Good to see us back in. I'm glad I'm back on Facebook as well. The reality is we are on track to finish third. Hope not, but nothing suggests that the team are suddenly going to find any form. Unbeaten till the end of the season. It's very hard. The evidence is look, as I said, we're on this ship. We're heading for this iceberg. And I know Martin is trying to do wonders, and I love Martin O'Neill. I feel like Martin O'Neill's been shafted. We all know, could it have been a different story? Could have been a different story if Martin O'Neill didn't get relieved of his duties and took that absolute weirdo in. Nancy, yes, it could have been a different story. Maybe we would have went into that Sunday against Hearts and maybe would have beaten Sunday. You know, they're not spending the money. They're not spending the money. Paradise Huddle. Love the picture, by the way. It's the truth. It's the truth. And as I said, I'm not coming on this to be negative. I'm not coming on this to spit the dummy out. I'm not coming on this to, oh, here's Keith. He's moaning about the same topics. He done that 3 days ago. He done that 2 days ago. The reality is, I go into these games with a 30% dread and feeling. Back to the past, I'd only go with a 5% against teams that were in the top 3. We were playing the top 4. Any team can sit back and hit us in the counter attack. Our defense is shambolic. Our goalkeeper, yeah, he's okay. He's done well for Finland the other day down in Auckland, Sinisalo. But there's just so much problems on the pitch, off the pitch. I just feel like we're really, really fucking scraping the super glue and hoping for our best to fix this jigsaw. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. It feels like I'm literally trying to put a project together for school in the last minute. Is it gonna pass? Is it gonna get me through my exam, or is it gonna be a failure? That's what it feels like. That's what it honestly feels like. I don't know a lot of you have been there, have seen it, have seen the bad times in the 90s, but modern day football, when you have a bank account of almost 90 million after tax, we should never be in this position. We should never be in this position. It's the fact is we can't score goals. We have strikers that are nowhere near it. We got days in Maeda where he played for Japan the other night and he was the captain for Japan at Hampden, a place where he scored some iconic goals in his Celtic career. And did anyone spot Days in Maeda's touch of the ball? 2 or 3 times he flopped it. And I really don't want to start hitting Days in Maeda in the ribs and start slating Days in Maeda as a player. But my God, his head is gone. His head is gone. How can you go from 33 goals last season to fucking struggle this season? It's beyond me. It's beyond me. What is going on with Days? Is it down to the sleepless nights with the new Baba? Is it down to he's choked it in, doesn't want to be a Celtic? Is it down to his agent spitting in his ear? Oh, hold on, Days, and we have a couple of clubs in. What is it? What is it? I would love to know. I just think it's a joke. Like, at the end of the day, they're collecting the salary. They'll be getting bonuses for goals and assists. And most of all, you've got a World Cup. I think Days in Maeda is just going to just play the minutes as much as he can. It doesn't matter about his goals. He'll still get picked for Japan because he fucking scored in World Cups for them previously. This is the problem. Players like that, on an overall performance, I don't think Days in Maeda should be picked for Japan. And that's the God honest truth. I think there's probably players out there that's playing better form than Days in Maeda. Probably playing better in the J League than Days in Maeda. You know, it's just sad to say because he's been such a influential character to have in the team, you know. And it's just it's a sad time that we're living in. If we don't win that league, we don't get Champions League, Poxy, 40 million. As I said, we're drip feed. We're not even the money is gonna dry up. The money's gonna dry up. And I've said already, if we finish third in the league, it'd be a big kick up in the arse. And I've said it so many times. I hate saying this, but I gotta speak with me. Gotta speak with me head and speak with me heart in this. If we lose the league, it might be the best thing that could happen to us. I mean, like a reset in 21 was good, but you need a massive reset. Like I mean, 12 to 14 players need to get the boot. That's what you need. You need a manager that's really relishing to come in and fucking turn this around. Because if you don't get it right in this window, you could be paying for the next 3 or 4 windows. We have gone through 71 players in the space of 4 seasons on our squad. 71 players in and out. We have potentially between loan players, players to come back, players are in contract, players to end. We have a bit of a core of about 44 players there that need to sort out their contracts in the summer. Some of them have 2-year deals left. Some of them are on their final deal, the final season. It's a mess. It's, you know, it's just an absolute mess. And the thing is, I know this sounds completely cringy, what I'm going to say. I'm going to say this in an honest opinion. You may not see them value right now to Celtic the way they're even contributing on the pitch, but they may be valuable for another club. Give you an example. Look at Abue Kouassi. We bought him for fuck all and sold him for good money. You know, like the Celtic will be stubborn and will listen to offers for players you won't expect. They will. And I just want to give a massive shout out to Jota. Jota, his birthday today. Who's going to put in the comments below what's your favorite moment with Jota? Is it the free kick against Real Madrid in the Bernabeu? Is it the lob over McGregor? Is it going around McGregor and putting it in? Is it the header at Hamden? You know, is it the goals up in Pittodrie in his fourth season when he done the golf club thing up to Joe Hart? You know, Jota, I feel sorry for him. I really do feel sorry because he's had an absolute nightmare since he left Celtic and then came back to Celtic, from going to Saudi Arabia for that mad money, going to Rennes, playing literally a handful of games, and then coming to us and scoring on his return at Motherwell. You know, it's just being mad. Like, the thing what I would say about the Jota is, a lot of us are feeling like he's done, but we can all say that, but actions speak louder than words. And this is me defending Jota. This is me defending Felipe Jota. I think if Jota comes back and gets himself, treats his body right, I think we could get Jota at a level which he can be, you know, effective, very effective. I don't know if he's going to be the Jota of 21 or 22 or 23, but I think we could have a player. Come on, for God's sake, who would you rather, Balak Wisher or Jota? Let's just put it there. Let's just put it honest as it is. They dared us to tell us this season. The thing is, the board will never hold ourselves accountable for the fuck-ups. They won't. They never will hold ourselves accountable for the mistakes that they've done with the recruitment, with the management, with Paul Tisdale, with the, like, Hearts done something that Celtic haven't done. They bought into an analytics system, a good system, down to stats. I know stats always doesn't sell a player to some people. You know, you could put a scout out there and have someone scouting a player for 8 or 9 games, and he might look like the fucking next Messi, and then he comes into Celtic and he flops it. Like, for example, Balak Wisha is a prime example. I've discussed Balak Wisha on my channel, let's say about 13, 14 times before we signed him. And I was boasting him up. I was like, he's going to be a top baller for us. He played 14 games and he was shy. Completely, absolute mince. And people used to give Derek Brahita a lot of grief. Michel and Balguishi is probably the worst player I've ever seen. You know, what I will say is, I want to have another moan about something as well. Celtic put out a video today, Martin O'Neill giving an update, a 1.5-minute video. This is what they're trying to do, because they know that they're not, like, I'm sitting here, I do be sitting here on YouTube, right? I don't have YouTube Premium at the moment. And I'm sitting there going through ads, and I keep getting Celtic ads coming up. Celtic jersey ads keep coming up. They are really scraping by the barrel to try and make some sort of revenue back, considering they have money in the bank. Because they know people are just done with it. People are done with it. People are not arsed. Like, who puts their jerseys down to 30 quid in November, not even halfway through a season? Celtic know it. And the fact is, the pressure's on them. The pressure's on them, and the board will never hold themselves accountable. The crony crew, I call them the crony crew of Nicholson, Wilson. I say Peter Lawwell's still in there doing something, even though he stepped away. So I'm sure he's still making them phone calls like he was when McCoy was in there. One day hopefully we'll hear the truth about Don McCoy, what really happened, why he was dismissed from his job, because he wanted to move Celtic forward, like he done with the Scottish rugby. He moved the Scottish rugby to a powerhouse, making so much revenue from sponsorship, from tickets. You know, Murrayfield got a new sponsorship, renamed the stadium for a couple of years. Like, the money was coming in, and he was the one that sanctioned Jovanovic. You know, the Jovanovic signing. But let's see what people are saying in the below. The board will sell one or two of our best players. And this is the crazy thing, Paul. Who is one or two of our best players? Who is one of our two of our best players? I know Ali Johnson in my mind's our biggest asset, or Arnie Ingles. Who is one or two of our best players? That's what I'd like to know. If Rangers win Saturday, that puts the pressure right in Celtic. I just don't think Celtic can deal with pressure this season. They've fucking crumbled under majority of the time with pressure. The games that you weren't expecting to win, they've won. Like winning at Ibrox in the Cup, winning at Feyenoord, winning at Stuttgart. Then games you did, like, I did fancy our chances at Ibrox, but didn't fancy our chances in Rotterdam or Stuttgart, you know? Any word on Broony coming in the fold? There's no word on Broony. I've asked the question to you because a lot of people are saying, take Broony back, take Broony back. I'd like to see Scott Brown come in. I'd rather Scott Brown in than laptop fucking Gavin Strachan. Let's be honest, who would you rather? Gavin Strachan or Scott Brown? Let's be honest. You know? Or should I say, when we win Saturday, it puts the pressure right up on you. Look, what are you talking about, Rab, you're in a Celtic podcast. Get a hope to yourself, man. Like, there's not a chance I would sit there on the range watching Rangers ramble or fucking all the rest of them. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? You know? Gets me a view, why not? But I'd hate to say, but we're pissed. You know? Broony could not do it at the Dons, Fleetwood or Ayr, but it's a coaching capacity, not a manager's capacity. I wouldn't touch him as a manager. I don't think he's even near the job as a manager, but there is deluded Celtic fans that would want him as a manager next season. That is really low on our levels. Like, we done with Neil Lennon when he lost to Ross County in the semi-finals of the Scottish Cup, and I heard a lot of people talking that losing John Kennedy has a big impact on the squad. 100%. John Kennedy is an unsung hero. As much as he frustrated us at times, he did frustrate us at times. You know, especially in the COVID season, he done my nothing as he was the intern coach. But John Kennedy, a lot of players have spoke highly about John Kennedy. And that's why Brendan Rodgers took him over to Saudi, because obviously he's a good coach. Look at Ange was going to take him to Spurs, for God's sake. So John Kennedy, yeah, he wanted players through, but this is the problem with the board. The board didn't want to develop players. The board didn't want to give players chances. They wanted to just, you have a player coming through who's a 17-year-old starlet that could be potentially the next winger of Celtic, the next James Forrest. No, fuck that. We'll go out in the transfer window and we'll buy someone from South Korea. You know, that's reality. I know at the time it's a bit different from Doak to Yang, but that's the reality of what we're dealing with. You know, that's the type of shy. Johnson and Ingles, they wouldn't hesitate on selling one of them. Brown will be a good system manager. This is it. Would you rather Sean Maloney as your assistant manager or Scott Brown? That's the God honest truth. You know, JF Kennedy. Broony has tons of winning experience. He'd be good. I just think you need that kind of leadership in the dressing room. I know Martin O'Neill is an unbelievable man, has Martin O'Neill as much as his experience and He's won everything as a player and a manager. You know, does he have it in him to coach this modern day team to success? He is trying, but Sean Maloney's pulling a lot of the strings. And it's the question, you could see it at Ibrox. Maloney was in the huddle when we were going before the penalty shootout, being passionate. That's what it was all about, you know? So who else are we going to talk about? Araujo, 18 games, folks. Is he a big miss? Is he a big miss, Araujo? Osman should be back post-split. AJ is going to be back. Oh, big! I'm buzzing to have. I am buzzing to have Alistair Johnston back. You know, if Alistair Johnston wasn't coming back and Araujo's injury, I would be a bit down in the dumps about it. But I just think the younger perspective of fans are buying into the Araujo stuff too much. Oh my God, he gets Celtic. He's Aguirre, and I've said it so many times as well. But take a step back. He's been absent the last 2 games because he's quads. It's been proven that we're missing him in that position because Ralston's a hauler. Tons an 18-wheeler. We've got Donovan, who's only young, that's learning the trades. You know, we put Rio Atate right back and he made an absolute tits of it. So, like, yeah. The board too. The board are not fans. The board are not fans. The fact is, if they were fans, they would already have this stuff sorted with the Green Brigade. They'd have fan media back in. We'd be all on the same part. We'd be all getting behind. The difference is clubs like Hearts and Rangers, they have unity. They have belief. They have belief this season. We don't have belief. We are sugarcoating, disappointing how shit we've been season. There's a portion of fans. There are a portion of fans that just can't get it into their heads and see it from their own eyes how bad this season is. They just, you know, I speak to a guy in my job on a weekly basis, phenomenal man, and I still don't think in his mind that we're going to win the title. He still thinks that we're going to pull this away because how bad Rangers have drawn 12 games, or Hearts are going to burst the bubble. I'm not thinking about Hearts or Rangers. I'm just saying it as a bigger perspective here. They have their fans on board. There's no issues with them. There's no glitches with them, with their fan bases. You know, it just shows. It just shows that if you want to be a part of something and you believe in something, and if you chase that, and everyone's aboard and they give everything they can, 100%, your whole squad, even players come off the bench and give 100%, and you're winning games. If it's fucking nitty and gritty, you have a chance. Celtic went to Tannadice last week, and let's be honest, I think a lot of us knew in the first 15, 20 minutes that the game's going to be shy. You know? Seen the video of him talking about Celtic versus who are we talking about? What's this? When are the Green Brigade getting back in? They've done nothing as bad as the Union Bears. You know, look, I've said it so many times on the channel. We need unity in the stands. We need belief. We need belief across social media. You need to have that belief, but there's not enough evidence from the way the team are playing. You know, it all triggers down from the seats to the pitch, and then when the results don't go your way, straight away we're going to blame number one's the board. Number 2 is the performances. Number 3, you have to question your manager at times. I don't like criticizing Martin O'Neill. The guy's a fucking saint, but he is the man in charge. If it was Nancy in charge, we'd be criticizing Nancy. You have to criticize people at times. And Martin is trying. He is daily trying. You could see him on the sidelines, being energetic, being frustrated at times. You know, I just don't think we have a core of players that can win this title. You know, we need thunder. We do need Green Brigade. You know, rebuild from the bottom. Yeah, like there's rumors going around that according to like normal day-to-day staff at Celtic Football Club find it like a toxic atmosphere. You know, people that work day to day in the club, groundsmen, people that work in club stores. How can you be optimistic about that? Like, you're saying in the back of your mind, "Oh, we've been pissed this season." That's the club you support. That's the club you love. And you're saying, "Oh, we've been pissed this season." But it's the truth. It hurts saying it. It hurts. Now, we don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, right? Hearts at home have done us. Rangers at home have done us. But yes, we still have a chance to go. Like, what's the point of being up for 2 games? You need to be up for every game. Every game. The number one question everyone's asking me, Sean, how are you getting on? I hope you're doing well, mate. I don't know, because every time I say a name, people don't like my opinion. So, you know, I really don't know. I love Jurgen Klopp, but that ain't happening. You know, maybe you need a personality. Maybe you do need a Jose Mourinho. That sounds fucking crazy. Maybe you do need a Jose. I don't think Jose would touch Celtic. I don't think Jose would touch the Scottish League as much as he hinted it. Maybe you need a strong personality, someone that doesn't take shit. Maybe you need a Jose Mourinho. You know, maybe you need a big name to step up. I've said it already on the channel a couple of times. The whole Robbie Keane thing. I know a lot of other podcasts like, nah. You do with the experience. You go for someone that actually is being around some sort of connection to Celtic as well. You know? Maybe it's you need. Like, I know a lot of people don't like fucking Mourinho because of him and his team screwed us in Seville, 100%. But the guy has a great CV. He's won everywhere he's went, bar Turkey, I think. You know, he won trophies at Manchester United. He's won a European Cup. At Porto, he's won a European Cup. At Madrid, I think he's won a European Cup. At Inter Milan, he's won a treble at Inter Milan. You know, who goes to the new camp and fucking with 10 men and beats Barcelona? The best team, you know? So this isn't about Palestine or Israel. This is about Celtic Football Club on the pitch. On the pitch. Flags in the crowds doesn't win us games. Fucking players win us games. Managers that lead us into fucking battle win us games. That's what's about. That's what's about. Stop thinking politics. I had this ramble the other day on the channel. People that take too much. I know it's a sensitive subject, but you need to think of your football team, not what's going on in the world, folks. Your football team. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. It's horrendous what's happening in the world right now. The world is a crazy place. Crazy place. And we're gonna lose people viewing and be like, here we go, he's not talking football. The world is a crazy place. But what keeps you happy? What keeps you motivated? Your family, your job, Celtic Football Club. Don't be looking at Al Jazeera. Don't be looking at CNN. Don't be looking at fucking Fox News. Don't be looking at Sky News. Bad news, boys. Bad news, boys. The simple thing is, we're not here to talk about football. We're here to talk about the next manager. If one of the candidates has managed in Israeli league, which is in UEFA, which they shouldn't be in UEFA, and has won a Ferencváros that has beaten Rangers this season, he should be considered for the candidacy. Because right now, I don't think we're going to get Martinez. Who would you rather? Let's be honest, Steve Clark or Robbie Keane? It's going to be these names. It's going to be these names. It's going to be Clark, Keane, Bellamy, Martinez, or Askew. They're the 5 names that I think. You know, how's it going, roast beef? You know, we need to focus on our own issues. Stop thinking about other stuff that you can control. Stuff that you can control. I always say this to people. Don't be worried about it. Just control it. Just think about what's around you. Your friends, your family, the love for your club. That's the most important thing. That's what you grew up supporting. Celtic, you know. There's one for you. Keep Martinez as a manager, Scott Brown as assistant. He's going to pick Maloney. And I can't see Scott Brown, as much as I love to see Scott Brown in the coaching role, but I can't see Scott Brown being a third man, you know, letting Maloney ahead. It's not. I just don't know. I just like a part of me thinks Will Maloney and Scott Brown walk alongside each other. You know, I know if they played with each other at Celtic, they played national team with each other. Scott Brown provided them an assist against Ireland. It was broke my fucking heart that night when they scored that goal Scotland did at Celtic Park against Ireland. But yeah, you know, like it's, you know, will it be Jurassic Clark? Jurassic Clark? I see now all in the comments. Will it be? Would take Robbie Keane in a minute. It's not about players. It's not about, yes, they have the experience of walking alongside good managers. Look, Robbie Keane's walked alongside fucking good managers in his career. Rafa's the Champions League winner, UEFA Cup winner, a La Liga winner. You know, I wouldn't touch Rafa Benitez, but he's walked alongside him. You know, people like to say Martin Yall, but Martin Yall was done decent. Juan de Ramos, he done a decent job, you know, with Seville. Robbie Keane, I just have a feeling it's going to be Robbie Keane. And that's the God honest truth. I know he's not going to, I know a lot of people are going to be like, burn your season ticket because Robbie Keane's in charge. No, hold on a minute. What I would say right now to anyone that will reconsider the new season ticket, because if Robbie Keane is in charge, right, you're walking away from your club, man, because of a name. I've always said this, and I'll be very vocal about this, and this is to any manager that comes in the door in the summer. It's all about winning games. It's all about making a stamp. It's all about impressing the fans. Whoever comes in is not going to win over a certain opinion of someone else. So, argument's sake, Jim Limster is sitting there and fucking Mark Carplaw is sitting beside each other in the Lisbon line stand. Jim doesn't want Robbie Keane. Mark wants Robbie Keane. Are you going to sit there and moan at each other for the whole fucking game because Robbie Keane's on your fucking sideline? Or are you going to be behind and back your team? You know? That's what you do. You're going to back your team. You back your team. Bobo Balde. Bobo Balde. Not a chance. Keane or Bellamy. Look at what I say about Craig Bellamy is he's a good personality, but he's not established enough. Unfortunate with Wales the other night. You know? Unfortunate with Wales. But he's only managed 15 games for Wales. I like Bellamy. Who's your number two? It depends who we bring in. Like, I don't care about number two. I want number one. You fuck number two. Number one. You know, you got to be ambitious. Will Celtic give Keane the money to spend? This is the problem. You're going to get a portion of fans who are just... It's sad to say, I had fans the other night on my social medias giving me grief. Scottish Celtic fans that were laughing at Ireland getting beaten the other night. Oh, you're giving all this about Ireland, but who gives a shit? I'm glad you're out. I'm like, mate, shut the fuck up. You wouldn't have Celtic only for an Irish person. So get a grip of yourself. Use your bleeding noggin. You sing the Irish songs. You sing the national anthem in English and you think you rip the piss out of Ireland. Come on the light, mate. Go to bed. You be one of them weirdos on super scoreboards, you know? Does my nut in, like, you know? Irish origins, you know, you got to think of that, you know. So many Irish men scored goals for Celtic, vital goals. But we had a Donegal goalkeeper, you know. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. Regardless what skin colour you are, regardless what religion we are. We've had players that have been Protestant playing for Celtic and they've been massive success. Danny McGrain. Jock Stein was Protestant. You know, we've had fucking Kenny Dalglish. Like, people need to stop thinking all this religious bullshit. Be who you are. And people don't like who you are. You know, adios. You can't keep everyone happy, like, folks. You know, up to Donegal. The man from Donegal. Steve Clark, look. Steve Clark has done it with West Brom. He's done it with Kilmarnock. he's done it with the national team of Scotland. And you have to give him a bit of praise, as much as football's depressing at times to watch Tyrese Clark. But it's just, oh God. Steve Clark, I remember at one point people were mentioning Steve Clark's name for the Celtic job back in 2017, if you can remember that. Before, I remember when his name was linked to the Celtic job before the Scottish Cup final back in 2019. People forget about this stuff, Is a laugh, is this board? They're going to go for someone cheap. Simple as. They're not going to give a manager big money and go cheap in the transfer window. Or maybe they do both. Cheap manager, cheap transfer window. Sounds like Celtic. It sounds like a team that are the fleecers, But did anyone see James Forrest's sister's goal yesterday for Glasgow City against Rangers? Oof, what a peach of a goal. Remind me of Jamesy, 17-year-old Lisa Forrest. Cutting in the left, taking it on and smashing into the right corner in Fair Park. Flower of Scotland. I love the Scots. Absolutely love yous. I love yous as much as I love Irish people. Because yous are good people. I've had more Scottish people liking my channel than Irish people. It's just great. As I said, I have Scottish blood in me. I come from Cleveland. My great granny was from Fife. So yeah. But the rest of my family are all Irish. Good country. As I got to the, oh God, imagine Gordon Strachan coming back. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ, definitely not. Like, every name's gonna be thrown in the mix. Every name's gonna be thrown in the mix. That's it. The Fifer, the Shack, the Fifer, yeah. That's it. But yeah, Scottish blood. But I don't know about Sunday, folks. Just hoping that we can get all of our players back. Did anyone see Alistair Johnson on TSN the other night? The guy's a pro. The guy's an absolute legend. The guy had me in stitches. He's doing the headers with the female pundit. She's in stitches, and then he comes off and he just wipes the towel. He's like, oh, this is hard work. He just has a great personality. Show us the thumbs. Get the thumbs in the video. Get the thumbs in. You like me t-shirts. You like me Come On the Hoops t-shirts. I might start putting them on sale. Would people buy them? Would people buy the merch? I'm not another penny to Keith. Is that the campaign on me as well? Not another penny in Corcoran. There you go. Just outside Derry, was half Irish and Celtic daft. I wanted Ireland to win as Scotland and Ireland. Would have been magic. But you know what? Maybe it's a blessing in disguise, because you know what? Who wants to go to America? The Guinness tastes like shite. Let's be petty about it. But yeah. Mum. Good stuff. Right, there's a four. I want to give us. Who's laughing at? Jordan Grant. What are you laughing at? What's Jordan Grant laughing at? Hope he's enjoying the podcast. I'm from Little Ireland, the Republic of Cope Bridge. I've heard that one. I'll have one of them shorts, boy. Well, I'll look into getting it done. I'll look into getting it done. Big shout out to Half Dolly. This is just a mock t-shirt you brought over. I have a hat as well. Does anyone want to see the beanie hats? Does anyone want to see the beanie hats before they? Does anyone want to see them? Anyone want to see the Come On the Hoops hat? Let me know in the comments. I'm not here to sell merch. I'm here to talk about football. Right. I'm going to talk about a guy that we're linked with as well. We're linked with two players. Not one particular player we're not directly linked with. Right, give me a second. I gotta get me Happy Gilmore shorts on and me Crocs on. Just like me shorts. Oh, look, who's on the back of it? Henrik Larsson, Henrik Larsson, Henrik Larsson is the king of kings. Yep, yep, that's it. Let's see, let's see. I got the best bachelor ever. Walking around with white Crocs on. There we go. There we go. There's the hat there. There we go, folks. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? There we go. Look at the size of me bleeding head. Head like bleeding. Oh my God. Malahide Castle. You know? What do you think of the new Celtic week? A new trackie? Unbelievable. It killed me not buying it the other day. It absolutely killed me. Killed me, it is. But yeah. Ah, look, I'd be supporting Mexico anyway. I have a couple of Mexico jerseys there. I have the Blanco one as well. I've got the Blanco jersey. I got the jersey from the last one. That's it. It's a cool hat, innit? So I'll work with getting merch done on the channel. I'll work with getting it done, folks. So the t-shirts and the hats, and we'll get the stickers done as well. We'll get the stickers done as well. I have stickers in there as well, folks. Let me see. See, can we show you this? Ah, Jesus Christ. There's the stickers there. There's the stickers there. So, yeah. There's me knocking off lights. Now, it looks actually a bit better like that, you know? But, yeah. What's going on? There we go. There we go. So, I want to ask you in the comments. Who do you want as the next Celtic manager? And say why you want them as the next Celtic manager. Who do you want as the next Celtic manager? I actually put up a video today of Odsonne Edouard scoring against Dundee in the last minute of the game. It was Paddy's Day 2019. I remember it quite well. I was out having a drink with my friend that day in Dublin. And Keith, did you give you? No, I'm still in the process. The Death Star is only half done. I still have to give another sheet of it. You know, I'm just a lazy shy. Just a lazy shy. It's gonna be completely dark green. Dark green. It's gonna look good. We've got the sheet. We've got the Timu Yoko. We've got the ballroom. We've got Kurt Cobain. We've got the jersey. Every time I'm gonna be in the podcast now, we're gonna put a different jersey there. I hope he's like that jersey. What does that remind you of? Who wore a long sleeve jersey? Who wore a long sleeve jersey and scored a goal against Barcelona with that jersey on? Who wore the jersey? That jersey and scored against Barcelona in long sleeve. And he wore number 32. And I remember the likes of Xavi Iniesta just looking at him when he's walking past him in the tunnel. Do you remember that picture? See, can we find that picture? Let's see, can we find that picture? Tony Watt, Barcelona. See, can we find that picture? That picture is iconic. You know, Tony Watt that confidence got to his head, ruined him. And absolutely ruined Tony Watt did. Celtic. Oh, let's see. Oh, I found it. The Kerrysdale Suite have this picture. Oh, you actually used to have this jersey. I didn't throw it out. Oh, come on. See, can we find this picture? Oh, Jesus. Let's see. I'm not going to find it. I'm just going to have to go into Google Images and the Kerrydale Suite form. I haven't been on this website in a billion years. It's great. Pictures of the board with clown heads and stuff on. Oh, that's the stuff. That's the stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Tony Watt. Yeah. Tony Watt, is he from Airdrie or is he Motherwell? Which one is he from? Or is it Coatbridge? People are saying Robbie Keane. Let me see. This is the famous picture. This is the one here. We're gonna zoom in. The iconic picture of Tony Watt. You know, good times. I got that jersey. I got the away one in long sleeve. I don't have in short sleeve. I couldn't get it in short sleeve because it was sold out. Oh Jesus, hold on. In a picture of the board. Oh God. Let's see. I don't think my laptop wants to. Don't think my old laptop. I need to get a new laptop. It's on its way out. These Google Chromebooks, I highly recommend stay away from. They're so slow at times. Because maybe I have more bleeding tabs open than Alicia Keys, but I can't get the picture. Let me see. Wait, there we are. Well, again now. Here we go. That Kerrysdale suite or Kerrysdale pages. Oh, Jesus, great. It's great. It's great. Me picture Keats. Yeah, no, it's not that one. No, I'm not looking for that one. I know that picture is great of Tony Watt, the one you have there. I'm not looking for that particular one. I'm looking at this one here. This one, look at. And why is it not sharing? Hold on. Share screen. Share with you. Not the singer, just share. Here we go. There it is there, folks. You can zoom it in. Go on. Here we go. There's the picture there. Tony Watt. And then there's Valdez. Xavi just looking at Tony Watt. And Tony's like, you don't know what's going on later on, buddy. I've got a bottle of Buckfast in me. I'm gonna ruin yous. And he did. Him and Big Vic. Sticky Vicky Wanyama, the Kenyan warrior with the header. Was it McGrew that swung it in that night? McGrew, wasn't it? Oh, what a night. What a night. Am I correct saying was it the 25th of November 2012? Or was it the 12th of November? Oh, here's a Celtic trivia question now for me. Oh God. Let's see. What's your favourite ballad pub in Dublin, Keith? I would have said Patter Brown's. I do like Patter Brown's, but the Celt is a good place as well. The James Connolly's good. I've never done Patter Carney's. I want to do Patter Carney's. So the 7th of November, was it? Why am I thinking it's the 25th of November? Celtic versus Barcelona. Can't even go. That's our club spirit, and there's me bleeding all over the shop. Celtic versus Barcelona. What date was this? Was it the 7th of November? I believe you, but I just want to double check. Why is this Champions League website? Another website fucking slow. Like, what's the crack? It's full time, yeah. 7 November. God, I'm miles off. I'm sorry, folks. I should be disowned. I should be unsubscribed at this way. Send me a picture of my. Send you a picture of my Celtic t-shirt. Did you? Where did you send it? Did you send it by email or did you send it on one of the socials? Where do you send it? Right, let's see what Milky is saying. Milky Moo, Celtic 67. What a name, by the way. Hope you're doing well, Milky. Tell us where you're from as well. Robbie probably has the best CV, but if it's not Klopp or Mourinho or Buchanan is Spurs bound, I suppose Eskew or McKenna are out of the rest. Don't like international managers. I don't like international managers as well, but apparently he's like a fucking take Bellamy. Right, let me see. Facebook Messenger. Let's have a look. Big Jim. Big Jim's in the gaff. Let's see. Oh. Loving it, Big Jim. Jim, can I show people the picture? Can I show people the picture, Jim? Can I show audience the picture, Jim? Can I, Jim? Can I show the folks the Big Jim? The Jim Meister. The Jim. Good picture, by the way, Jim. It really is. Shout out to the Jim. You make me go red, Jim. There's only been one Jim in my life, and that was Jinky. Kildare. Up to Kildare. I need to get down to that. I need to get down to the North Kildare Celtic supporters club when I'm back in Ireland. Definitely need to. I heard it's a good night down there, down in Kildare. I family in Selbridge. I've actually family in Newbridge as well. So yeah, the Lily Whites, eh? The Lily Whites. I'm gonna wear my Dublin jersey one of the nights on the podcast. Don't care. Don't care, folks. Wear me Dublin colours. Can't take the dub out of me. But that's a good question, Stephen. You know, yup, bro. Milky moo, eh? So, have a scale of 1 to 10. How confident are you we're going to win the title? Are we playing Benjamin Egrin up front? No, mate, I'm not that good looking, right? Well, I won't show them then. I won't show them, you know. The Newtown, a new great spot for Celtic games. I need to get myself down. I need to get myself over for the Celtic game. Definitely, me and my missus will get over for one of the matches before the end of the season. Get a day trip over, you know. 100%. Right, what else would I have to talk about tonight? Dundee, no. Oh yeah, Tyrese Cambell. Jesus, forgot about him. This is what happens. You get carried away in these podcasts. I don't know why other people just restrict themselves for a half an hour. Not me. All I'm talking is until I get bored. Let's see. So we are linked with Kevin Campbell's son. Rest in peace, Kevin Campbell, who died a couple of years ago. Evertonian legend, Kevin Campbell. His son has been linked with a move to Celtic. Tyrese Cambell, 26-year-old, 6-foot striker. Now, folks, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not buying this. This is like an Anacho 2.0. He's played 73 games for Sheffield United, and he's only scored 17 goals. Even for Stoke, 34 goals in 154 games. The Blades fans like him because he scored in the Sheffield derby this season and then last season as well. It's a no for me. He's valued at 8 million though. 8.5 million. 26 years of age. He's 1 year left in his deal as well at Sheffield United. According to us and Sefco, we're in from. Look at his stats this season, folks. Six goals in 24 games for Sheffield and 2 assists. An average. Look at his average ratings. I wouldn't touch him. Would not touch him. I wouldn't even give 5 million. It looks like an Albion Yeti 2.0, mate. Not a chance. Wouldn't go near him. Right, let's look at his previous. Look at all season, folks. He said the start of the season he was all right. He's doing all right. And then he just kind of went down. He went down the scale. Look at Jesus. 6 points. Nah, it's not for me. Definitely not for me. I wouldn't touch him. Or reported that we're in for this guy. You know, you can show that full. You can show that full version. What version? Have you? 6.10. I'm about a 4 out of 10 if we're going to win this league. I think over the weekend. Now I will be live on Sunday. for the game. What time is the game on? 4:30 on Sunday? It's a 4:30 Sunday. Let's have a look. I think it's 4:30 because of the international break. Good luck to Scotland against Ivory Coast tomorrow, and good luck to the Republic of Ireland against North Macedonia in a friendly. Kills me saying that. It kills me. 4:30 on Sunday, we're playing Dundee. So we will be live about 3:30 on Sunday for the game. I'm with you all watching them. That the new picture sent. Okay, let's have a look. Ah, that's the new one there. That's the new one there. That's from the gym boy. Shout out the gym. We'll never stop. I feel like we have stopped this season, man. You know, feels like we have. He must be an old man. Had a 400 business on the top of my street. Who are we talking about? Martin Loughlin. Who's Martin? Can Celtic sign Troy Parry and complete my life? He won't. He's gonna go to Fulham. He's gonna go to Fulham. More like he's gonna go to Fulham. He's linked with him. He's actually linked with a move back to Spurs, surprisingly enough, as well. He's linked with a move to Everton. He's linked with a move to AC Milan as well. The title is theirs. Keep the faith, Declan says. I hope so, Declan. You know, I hope so. I'd like to see us pull off one. Was decent at Arsenal too, Kevin Campbell. Kevin Campbell's a legend. God rest his soul. Good guy. You know, I just don't think his son's the answer for Celtic. And would you take Carl Starfelt back at Celtic, folks? He's almost 31 years of age. Would you take Carl Starfelt back at Celtic for 1 or 2 years? Could he be better than Liam Scales? Would he be better than Austin Rusty Trusty? Let me know in the comments. Could he resurrect Carter Vickers? Him and Carter Vickers in the summer getting their shit together. The band are back together. I think Ambrose at this rate. Oh God, Ambrose will probably do a job at this rate. You know, and 5 titles. Yeah, here we go. You know, look, as I said, we're still in contention. We're still in contention to win a double. What's the story with my camera? It's gone so blurry. We're still in contention to win a double, but we need to. I miss Christopher Oyer. Oh, I would take Oyer back in a heartbeat. How much is Christopher Oyer worth now these days? Let's have a look at Chrissy Oyer. Chrissy Oyer, the Norwegian stud muffin. Why is it not coming up? Hold on. There he is. Let's see, have a look. I'm going to share the screen to you so you can all see the big Oyer Meister. A guy that could drive the ball forwards. That's the last time I've seen a defensive player doing that. Is Carter Vickers. He's just driving the ball forward in his early Celtic days. So let me see. So there we go. There's big Chris Oyer there. You know, what age is he now? 27. That's not bad. Let's take him back. When's his contract up? Doesn't say, does it? No, it doesn't say when his contract's up. I'll have to check transfer market. 122 games. That's not a lot. Since in 5 years for Brentford. That's not a lot, folks. 3 goals. Thought he would have had more goals than that. How many games has he played this season? 24 games. Average 6 points. He has been great. Like in February, he was on fire. Look at him. In January, he was on fire. All them grey months. Go on to Chris Oyer. You know, being capped, he's about to earn his 50th cap for Norway. How many titles did he win? 3 titles with us. 3 titles. Wait, no. 3 Scottish Cups, 3 titles, 4 League Cups. Isn't bad. I would take him back in a heartbeat, but I don't know how much Brentford would sell him. I think we need someone like that. You know, Oyer got Celtic. I know when Ange came in and he was kind of like, we didn't want to be a part of Ange's team. And I know we were playing down, and I think we were playing down in Bristol, if I'm correct. And he didn't want to play against Bristol City or nothing like that. Mandy says, a miracle worker we need. 100%. Mandy, I heard you were in Lords the weekend. Was that true? Yeah, that's hope. But that's the thing. Like the squads that we've had in the past have personalities. This is what we're lacking at Celtic. We don't have enough personality. We don't have enough belief. That's just the problem. I think, look at Ryan Christie. Look, Ryan Christie dropped his tails. He didn't want to be at Celtic. Him, Edward, and Oyer wanted to leave. And I think they were the ones that called it out after when we lost to Werner Varos. You know, Lennon came out and said, you know, there's 3 or 4 players that have been vocal saying that they're looking to move away from Celtic. Like, shouldn't be having that, you know, that way. Paris Huddle says, back the team more than ever. 100% back the team. But are we going to be saying that on Sunday if we drop points? If we drop points, I hope we win. We all hope we win. We all hope that happens. You know? So let's see. Shout out to Kate Cunningham and Raymond. Shout out to Laura Manley, Lynn McGee, Jimmy McGrath, Joseph, Liam, Bernadette, another Bernadette. All the Bernadettes in the gaff. BB's in the gaff. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a big thumbs up. Give it a good L. Where's Wally? Good question, Stephen. What's the story? We're a youth team. We don't have any upcoming talents. Because what happens is when they play well, when they get sniffing some sort of UEFA competition, the likes of Daniel Cummins, he went to West Ham because the board do not want to invest in the youth system. You might turn around and say, well, that's a lie because they've invested in Barrowfield. They put in the infrastructure in Lennoxtown. It's about giving a young player a chance on the big stage. You know, he was our last academy player that's coming through at Celtic that's got a senior game. Dane Murray, you know, what was the guy as well? Tordy, is it? He was around the mist of the midfields as well. Huge game on Sunday. Winner is done. There's no, like, you can't even see it be drawn on Sunday. It's done. It's done. I'll have me tell Celtic already and I'll be throwing it in. I want this to go to the last few games of the season, or even the last game of the season. We all want that. We all want to have that string of hope that, you know, Celtic is on a life support machine at the moment this season. It really is. It's on a life support machine. And the board are just sitting there and laughing in the ward when this has happened. That's what they're doing. They're sitting there with their cigars, looking at their phones, playing flappy duck while the club is on a fucking life support machine with the trauma that the board have lost. You know? Yeah, Brendan Rodgers might crashed into us and started this accident, but the board are the bigger culprits because they're the one that are driving the fucking car, and they're the ones that didn't have to fucking, you know, the safety bags in the, you know, it's just a mess. It is a mess, you know. You know, it's just an absolute circus, a fiasco. The Ducks, we've been sitting ducks for too long. That's it. Paper the cracks. The happy clappers will clap. They'll all keep clapping. They'll all keep clapping until fucking the sun comes up. You know that way. And that's not me hitting a dig at happy clappers, but come on, have a look in your own eyes. How bad has it been? How bad has it been? You know, and you keep your armbands on and jump into that pool, but it's just been Sheik Rodgers. Ben Rodgers. Oh, he seems like he's enjoying himself over there, you know. Look at Brendan Rodgers, as much as we're going to talk negative about the man steered us to one of the best Celtic sides we ever had. Now they wouldn't go on to win a European Cup. They were in the Quality Street, they were in Love Street team, but in modern day, Celtic side was unbelievable. You look at the invincible team, you look at the way we won a double treble. I'm not going to give him the credit for winning the League Cup that season. He fucked off down to Leicester to that kip of a stadium. But I will give him the recognition that he got players in. He transformed Scott Brown. He transformed the likes of Armstrong. Scotty Sinclair came in. Big sexy Musa was banging goals in for him, and Musa hates him now. Musa, I can't stand the guy. Musa gave us hints that he was a sleazy pig, as people want to say. But you know, who are we gonna blame? Like the thing is, right? We can blame Brendan Rodgers as much as we want, but the difference is Brendan Rodgers is gone. Rodgers is gone. So that issue's done. The bigger issue is Mr. Nicholson, the guy that hides behind the curtain. Mr. Nicholson needs to stand up and start being vocal. Like, why are we paying him almost £1 million a year for what? Sitting on your phone? Anyone can do that. And wear a suit. I can wear a suit. I could wear a suit on my podcast. I think I'm going to wear my suit on my podcast one of the nights and sit on my phone and shave my head bald and like do this. You know, I can do that. Anyone can get £1 million for that. Jesus, you know, unbelievable. You know, hey, what's this? What's that? Stay that building. It's that Lifehouse. I want a lifeline. It'll be still Rodgers' fault, mate. Wear a hoop suit. Don't have a hoop suit, mate. I have a good green suit in there. A good green suit. You know, I could wear the suit on one of the nights. I'm doing my interview for the Celtic job. I'll probably do a better job than fucking half the cunts that are linked. But yeah. Martinez is too stubborn for Celtic. That's the problem with Martinez. He thinks he's bigger than he is because he's managed Belgium and Portugal. Ask you, I made it quite vocal on the channel how I feel about Ask you. I was all in a month ago about Ask you. I was all like, yeah, let's get this Motherwell manager in. He plays sexy football. He's all in. It's been gone to shit. Pressure got to him. If pressure gets them manage the Motherwell, what's the pressure going to be like when he manages Celtic if he loses a game? What is he going to be ringing Super Scoreboard up and changing his name and venting his frustration? I'm sure he will and will be. No, can't be arsed. I don't want to ask him. I'm sorry, but I don't want to ask him. I think it's a cheap option anyway. He hasn't done enough in his managerial career to earn a job at the Celtic job. The Celtic job, you know. Who else? Robbie Keane. Flick me bean, Robbie Keane for the boys in green. Robbie Keane. If Robbie Keane never managed in Israel, everybody would be fucking on a horn talking about Robbie Keane for the Celtic job. That's the God honest truth. Would you be? Yeah, you would be. If Robbie Keane didn't manage in Israel, you'd be all like, oh, bring Robbie Keane in. Bring Keane in. Oh, you know, he's done well with Fenerbahce. As I said, I step away from the whole politics side. I'm looking at it as what he can offer. He's a good man manager. I follow Werner Varos on fucking Instagram, and I watch all the cringy videos, and you know what? There's unity there. And obviously he's got some Irish lads playing over there as well. But like, you know, who do you want in? I've got honest truths. I want Knutson, but I'm not going to get Knutson. You know, he does play strange formations, but he does play strange formations. But the whole thing is, if you give him a pre-season, you have to adapt to it. Nancy didn't have a pre-season. Nancy just went in and thought he was being Angelotti walking into that. That's the problem with it, you know. Is it true he was the best with the SP? No. Like, you know, yeah, he was, because he won the Scottish Cup. But the thing is, Ask you, I think it's too much. I think the Scottish media are breastfeeding this story to us. Oh, he's linked to the, you know. Oh, I'd be all in for that, Jim. That's a great show. Davy Moyes with Scott Brown as assistant. Now, that hits the noggin tonight. That hits the noggin quite well. I wouldn't mind that now. Davy Moyes won't leave Everton though. You know, Dermot Desmond's not going to make that Monopoly man phone call and get him to move away from the Premier League. You know, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. You know. Yeah. Oh God, don't remind me. You give me bleeding trauma here. Trauma. It'd be great to get all the fans. That's the problem. We're too fickle as fans, and that's the problem. Was a lot of us can't admit when we're fickle. You know, the problem is we something happens good, and we live hypes about it. And something happens bad, we moan about it for days. That's the joys of football. Where's the football fans that grew up in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s that just took it on the chin and just like, you know, fuck it, get on with it. I love my club, but I ain't going down. But the problem is you feel a bit of defeat, feel a few defeats, and you're like, oh, this is hard to swallow this, you know. This is the problem. It is a good point about Scott Brown. Scott Brown could work with Robbie Keane. I think it would be an ideal. Look, I don't care. I don't care about other podcasts. I'm saying it my fucking podcast because I believe what I say. And okay, my opinion is my opinion. I can't win over people because if someone believes that you know, I just, someone said to me the other day, do you care more about politics outside football, or do you care about your football team more? And obviously politics involves your day-to-day life. And I'm like, I care about my football team more, because politicians are all lying shites. We gotta We got a line shite called Willie Hawkey. Oh, I'll buy some membership for the club. I buy some shirts. I'll show the board how it's done. Where? He didn't me hole. He didn't buy nothing. He's talking pish. Absolute load of tam pish. That's what he's talking. Don't mind him. He ain't gonna buy shy, folks. He has the money. I've said on the channel, if I had 150 million, hello, Dermot, goodbye. I'm buying you out. The shares have been bought. Bye-bye, Monopoly Man. And buy your son. See your son, Ross. Cheerio. That's what I do. That's what I do. You know, just fuck this, you know. We all want focus on the bread and butter, which is the team. The team. We're not here to talk about who's going to win, who's going to this is going to be that. It's all out of our controls. Politics is always going to be around. Celtic Football Club will be around, but it's about being on side and believing in your team to go to a new level. We have gone down. We've went down 2 tiers. We've went down in 2 tiers in European standards, in domestic standards, transfer standards. We went down. Recruitment standards. We went down. Managerial appointments have been shite. Martin O'Neill is an intern caretaker manager. With regards to fucking Nancy, Jesus, it's been an absolute mess. It's been a mess. You know, it's just, you know, it's just like we're getting labeled anti-establishment, anti-board. Yeah, because you're the fuck-ups. You don't want to fucking listen to people's concerns. If you're paying money to a service and they're not providing you a service, you as a customer have the fucking right to hold people accountable for not providing you a service. Simple as. Simple as. If your internet's down, are you going to be a grumpy Jim Limstar on the phone? Of course you're going to be. Are you going to be a grumpy Cassie Bingo on the phone? Of course you're going to be. You know, this is what we do. Are you going to be a grumpy Milky Moo? Of course. It's all about getting it right. And if these people are getting paid a fucking fortune to run this club into the ground, they should be held accountable. We can all have it easy when we go on and win double trebles and party in Throwgate and fucking, you know, do the huddle and laugh at Rangers when they die and jelly and ice cream and do congas. But the point is, they need to fix this mess. They need to fix this mess. It's not the fans. The fans don't fix the mess. The board fix the mess. The board make these big decisions to fucking recruit right, to get the right players in, get proper contracts, get proper statistics and analytics, Joy. You know, all that stuff. Put a bit of money into the fucking stadium. Modern day stadium, my whole. San Siro, built in 1990. They're knocking the San Siro down. Their stadium was built, redone in 1998, 1999. And people go on like, oh, it is a nice stadium, but we should do it up with the money we have. We should. So you can get more money. And you get more money, more season ticket holders, more revenue. But what does that do? That would probably give the board more fucking money to hold and not spend. You know, it's just a shit mess. Like, folks, I haven't been around long enough for this. I haven't been around like yous that were born into it. I was adopted into it. And I can see it. Everyone can see it. My friends who are fucking Man U and Liverpool fans are like, what's going on? Keep with Celtic. And I'm like, mate, it's a stalemate. Like, fair enough, losing a title it could be bad, but it's not even about the title. It's about the operations. It's about the day-to-day bollocks that you have to deal with. The silence from the board, letting the Anfield rap come in and fucking let them do a rap at Oxlade-Chamberlain. But yet they won't even let fucking the Celtic fan media have a question. But yet they go on and do this petty 1.5 minute video because it's all a fucking fireball of fucking paying for fucking subscriptions. They're getting bad, man. It's getting bad. And I'm not here to moan. I'm just here to express my emotions. I feel it's a counselling session at times when I'm talking to you. So yeah, let's have a look. Just want a team who excites us. Play the Celtic way. We will accept losing games if the players play for us. Exactly. With a bit of fucking passion and belief. If you have passion and belief and you go out there and fight in the trenches and you give everything, like Ireland done the other night, they give everything. You can turn around and clap your hands and say, at least they fucking tried. These players are like, Rio coming off. Dame, warm up. It's like that. It's not even like, do you know when you see players warming up and you see like, oh fuck, here we go. This guy is fucking gonna make a difference. You're looking at that bench and you're like, is this the answer? Fucking hell. Jesus. This can't be the answer, is it? Like that's how it feels. And as much as you want to say, keep the faith, you're looking at it and you're like, fuck me. Here's Luke McConnell. And Lukey's a Greenock boy. Celtic true and true. I was delighted he signed for Celtic, but I'm sorry. Luke McCown ain't the answer. He ain't the answer. Paulo Bernardo ain't the answer. Odin Holm ain't the answer. You know? It's been an exhausting season, but we take it on the chin. Right, folks, I'm going to head off. I've enjoyed the podcast tonight. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Be a legend. Subscribe to the channel. Please press that thumbs up because every single thumbs up means everything. And if you feel like I'm a bit OTT, let me know. You think it was a bit too much tonight? Let me know. I'd rather be honest and passionate than sitting here and like, you know. At the moment, I'm just glad we got rid of Tisdale and Lawwell. We need Michael Nixon, and they won't leave. I don't even think they're recruiting for a new chairman. I think that Brian Wilson fucker's going to be here next year, to be honest. You know, he's useless. He's useless. Former Labour MP, eh? That just shows everything. Do you think maybe some of the players? Yeah, I think it's affected the players big time. You know, you got fans that are just, you know, fans. It's as I said, it's like a fucking seesaw at the moment. Some fans are not giving up without fight, and some fans are just feel like they just feel, you know, it feels like a tickle sucking them alive. You know, it's what it feels like. It's just it's hard to explain, but it's been mentally draining. Like, I wish I could just sit there and have a good conversation. Like, here we go, lads, we're gonna do this. I try my hardest to believe. That's a thumbs up from Dougie. You know? It's just, the God honest truth is, as much as I say who would like in or who you would like in, who'd want to touch it? Who want to touch that rebuild? Can we get the right personality in? Can we get the right person that's experienced enough? That's my concern. I just feel like if we had a decent board, I'd be like, right, I 100% believe we could do it in the summer. But I just don't, looking at that board's track record, you know, fucking bargain hunters. That's what it is. Bargain hunters. Well, anyways, I gotta go. Enjoy the hour and a half, which is, please subscribe. See you all soon. Hail, hail. Be back tomorrow night probably. Take care.